Hello, everybody out there in social media land. Um, I don't know really what to say. Um, it's uh, it's Afghanistan is bad. For those of you who don't know, some of the younger guys, younger generation kids, um, there wasn't around back then. Um, we went in Afghanistan and helped defeat the Russians, and we built. While we were there, we gave freedoms that people never had before, and then we abandoned them. Becomes a recurring thing. Apparently, I don't know why it's become a recurring thing. I don't understand it. We are a people of empathy. We are a people of love, and we are a people of supposed to be a people of kindness. We're supposed to set the example on planet Earth of what you're supposed to be like. Instead, we're giving everything away. We no longer hold our commitments. We no longer back our word up with continuous actions until what we promise is done. So I want to apologize like a former president did to the rest of the world. As a veteran, knowing how many times that we've interfered with other people and their indigenous population, promising them that we will keep them free from being killed by Marxist communism. I want to apologize to the Afghanistan people as a veteran. I want to apologize to the people that we sold the American dream that has become nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. I want to apologize to my other fellow veterans and the people of Africa where we're going next and the people of Syria because the same thing's going to happen. We're going to go in, make a giant difference, give the world a message of, hey, we can help you become better. We can help you realize what we have as the American dream. We can help you become blessed upon all nations. But instead, we sell an empty dream to people. I don't understand why. we try to go in, and after we accomplish what we think the mission is, we give hope. What we, as an American dream, from the very beginning of the idea of America, is sell hope. We give hope to people that there's a better way and a better life that we can give them. So I want to apologize as a veteran to the rest of the world for what my country has done and has become. I want to apologize to my federal fellow veterans on what we thought we were serving as a good cause, as we were serving as a people. I want to apologize to my fellow veterans that feel like I do, which it's filling up out there. I want to apologize that America only sells a Ponzi scheme. We're doing it on a worldwide scale. We're no longer selling a dream that can be actually fulfilled. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get everything going. I don't know what the future holds, um, but I don't like it. We got to rethink America. We're selling an American dream, but it's a Ponzi scheme on a worldwide scale. I got to apologize my commander in chief did embarrassingly to the whole Islamic world. I got to apologize for every veteran out there that served to feel after today in this genocide against women that is going on right now in Afghanistan. I got to apologize for every person who we told while we served in Afghanistan, hey, we're going to help you have a better life. Believe in us. Believe in what we can help you achieve as a people. Believe in what we have to offer. Believe in us. Believe that we believe that we can help you have a better life. Believe that while we're fighting beside you on the battleground, and you believe in the freedom that we offer, even though we don't really want to, as a people, invade. Money comes with prosperity, and we seem to lose the sight of the empathy that comes by using our money and the warfare to do something good. We're selling in a Ponzi scheme on a global scale because we are the paper eagle. We no longer actually give meaning to the American dream anymore. I didn't want to leave Afghanistan. I didn't want to go into Afghanistan for 20 years. But if we are going to show leadership, as sad as it is, as bad as it is, if we're going to show leadership, we have to give up some of our rights as individuals and fight in wars we don't like, to give women and girls freedom that they would never have. So what are we now? What we are is an empty, hollow people. A people with a word that we can't keep. The genocide that's already started isn't stoppable unless we go in with 50,000 troops into an airport that is walled off and cut off from anything else. We would literally have to be going in like we did in Panama. We would literally have to run people over who are sleeping on the tarmac for the planes just to land a plane to save those people that are there that believed in what we offered as a people. So on behalf of everybody that may or may not see this, I want to apologize. We are a paper eagle. We accuse the Chinese saying they're the paper dragon, but yet we are the paper eagle. Great people have fought and died for something that they believed. We could give other people, indigenous people, a chance to have what we have in America, freedom. But is it freedom? Now that we're being told what freedom is, We're told what we can and cannot say. I don't believe it's freedom. It's not freedom. It's not freedom at all. I grew up to be a pastor. I grew up to be a religious minister. Through time and through organization, through maturity, I realized that's not really who I am. Although I served honorably in the Army and the Navy, I realized that that wasn't my calling. I didn't have the belief system like I did as a kid. But no less, I understand that religion has a place and there is a creator that created all of us. Whether you believe or not, I promise you something, even science tells you that you cannot get zero from zero. We put $89 billion into a country that is deeply religious just across the mountains, while Pakistan, the ISI, the Haqqani network, were all along supporting the Pakistani Taliban because of decisions that were made a couple hundred years ago on the border. It is unbelievable how terrible of policy decisions we have made now that will affect people for hundreds of years. We went in the 80s and helped defeat the Soviet Union, and then we abandoned them. The people that believed in us then, the rights we gave, the schools that were being created, we restored a belief in the people that they could have something more than a dirt path and a mud hut. But instead of seeing it through, not because we're building a nation, people misunderstand. We're not building a nation. We're giving people hope that they don't have to live under oppression. Whether you are lesbian, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, religious, non religious, communist, non communist, it is a choice of freedom. I'm kind of at a loss for words. What do we say to the Afghanistan people? What do we say to the veterans who died and veterans like me that don't feel like anything else was accomplished, that we betrayed the people that we promised liberty and freedom to? I apologize to every little girl in Afghanistan, every woman in Afghanistan, every person that believed in America and the American way. How can we ever be trusted again? I'm contemplating questions to give answers, and I have none for those who believe in America. How can it come to the point where America is so terribly mismanaged and terribly done? How can it come to the point How can it come to the point where we have a third Afghanistan? You see, we won Afghanistan. We won Vietnam. We won Korea. We won everywhere we went to. Man. You see, we won Afghanistan. We won Vietnam. We won Korea. We didn't have the heart to finish the job that we went in to do to stop the communists. Look at the result of Korea, North Korea. Look at what we're dealing with today. There's an example. Vietnam, it became capitalist, and today is more friendly with us than it is in some ways with China. But that's an exception to the rule. And that's only because Vietnam, we brought manufacturing into it. And the majority of the people decided that they love prosperity and having things more than emptiness. We won Korea. The border there at Korea is there. The DMZ that I served on at Camp Casey, Korea, and then when we went to our training grounds, we won. We were there. We knew what we were doing. We had people there that was what in strategy is called a blocking move. We had the blocking set up. All we had to do is hang on until after that winter in Korea. What are we dealing with now? We're dealing with another Korea. Afghanistan was a blocking move to stop China. Afghanistan was a blocking move to bring freedom to oppressed people. Afghanistan was a blocking move to stop Iran from getting heroin through the rest of the world because Afghanistan is the grower of the poppy, but they don't transport it. We could have done so much more. But now, 100 years from now, 50 years from now, 20 years from now, after all the apologies that we're going to do in the United Nations, after all the apologies we got to do to the rest of the world, there's not an apology good enough to restore the trust after 70 years of quitting. We have literally quit. And I don't understand why. Why promise people freedom, liberty, justice, the American dream if at the last minute we get to watch them fall out of an airplane? Why? What about the little girls that are now going to be sold into sex slavery? What about the little teenage women who were looking forward to graduating from a school and then going to college? What about watching our friends who died, our veterans who died, watching their families say, what was the point? We're not nation building. We're keeping our word as a man, as a woman, as a society of saying, this is what we can do. And we're going to stay the course until we bring what we promised you. And that is freedom and justice. That is American way. That is love, kindness, empathy. If you want to be stupid in America, that's your right to be stupid. We know this. If you want to be religious, non-religious, that's your right in America. We know this. But what are we as a people if we invade to do good? We do that good, and then we have people believing that you're going to help us become like y'all. It's an empty dream. It's an empty life. It's an empty promises. It's like having a father or a mother that continuously says, hey, this is what we're going to do, and then never does it. It's like saying, hey, you're going to graduate high school and then force a kid to go get a job. It's like telling women, hey, you can have the choice to go to college or be a stay at home mom or be both because it's freedom. It's your choice. But instead, we make hollow promises, a Ponzi scheme on a global scale. We give promises and don't follow through with those. If you haven't been following, you should be. There is a current genocide going on. It is terrible. They didn't even wait to the end of the week before they started obliterating women in society. Do I think this feminist thing that's going on in America is the greatest thing since, you know, grits and eggs? No, I don't. God help us, it's destroying us little by little, thinking that a woman can be stronger and more powerful on a battlefield. God knows that it's a delusion. But women are stronger in ways men can never be. And that's their strength, their victory. That is who they are. But if you look in Kandahar right now, if you look in Kabul right now, they're literally painting over, destroying any images of women on buildings. They're literally executing women who had powerful jobs in politics. They're telling women that were in banks working as tellers. Can you imagine going to your local bank and there not be any women there? But that's what just happened. The women at the banks are no longer allowed to work there. How can we allow this to happen? How can we allow lives to be taken? How can we be a people, a man and a woman, a people of our word, and sell an empty dream and watch people fall out of an airplane? Her saying, "Help me, help me, help me." And I will guarantee you, at least one of those people, I know for a fact, at least one of those people was somebody that helped Americans. And he fell out of a plane believing that he could make it to America, hanging onto a plane. Shame on us. I'm not ashamed to be a veteran. I won't say that. But right now, I don't feel proud to be an American. I'm woke now to the Ponzi scheme that's been going on for 60 years, 70 years going on. We say freedom, justice, American way, lifestyle, freedom of choice. You want to be stupid, you can be stupid. You want to be smart, you want to go to college, you want to graduate, you want to get a job, you want to build something, you want to create something. If you don't want to do nothing at all, if you just want to stay at home, that's your choice. If you want to be homeless and a bum, that's your choice, because this is America. We give empty promises and hollow promises. I don't know what to say because there's nothing to say that will be good enough to apologize as my former commander in chief, President Obama, did to the Islamic world. I want to make that same apology to the Afghanistan people, to the people of Africa where we're going next. Don't count on America and the politicians that are in the elite system to actually fulfill their promises and help you achieve the dream that you believed in, because it's an empty promise. It's hollow. It's no longer freedom. It's purpose of, well, we're going to be here until we decide we're not going to be. There's no reason for it. We killed people. We got the mission done. Then we said, hey, we're going to help you become free. We're going to train you so that you can give back to your own people and create a society based on empathy and love and kindness and choice of who you are. It's called self-determination. There's not enough apologies in the world that I can give out now as a freedom loving American, as a veteran who watched people smile and say, "We love America. We love America. We love America. America is the greatest." But we watch people, at least two of them, fall out of an airplane saying, "We love America." We're going to watch a genocide happen because what most people don't understand is the Taliban that's there taking over the country are not Afghan Taliban. They are Pakistani. They are ETIM. ETIM. They are people who are giving a false lie of Islam, creating a false country because the people that are there are the Afghanistan people. The Taliban that are there, 70 to 80% of them are not Afghanistan. They come over the border every single year and fight all year long during the fighting season. But they're Pakistani. They're Northern Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, ETIM, Islamic fighters. They're not actually mostly Afghanistan people. They're the people that the Haqqani and the Chinese network supported against us. But we no longer have the heart to actually fulfill our promises as a people and tell the truth. See, that's the biggest thing about America and the politics and the intelligence that's going on is we're scared to tell the truth to the American people and to the world. This is not Afghanistan people wanting to come in and rule in a fair Islamic way. As much as I don't like what Islam has stood for in the most extreme way, this is not what Islam is in modern society. This is tribal people who got educated and convinced other people in Pakistan to come over and destroy anything American for an image. This is what we call the greatest counterintelligence and counter modern society operation there has ever been in the history of the world. China has always been ruled by a socialist, communist style rule through all of their kingdoms being united. And the rulers and the communists they only replaced the dignitaries and the tribal leaders that were already there of the different Chinese people that already were being ruled by a great society under an emperor. The only thing that changed was there's a people that were appointed into positions and put in those positions after they supported the communist regime, and those who decided to join, but it's still an emperor society. Russia. Russia has always been ruled by a great society, by rulers who ruled from the top and made all the decisions. Socialists, communism. It is feudalism ruled by a king, except for they call them great leaders. They call them the party the party leaders. It is still a kingship. It is still a king leading ruthlessly. If you don't conform, you starve. Isn't that what happened? Why we as American people, when we decided to have a constitution, why we decided we didn't want a king? Because we didn't want somebody saying, if you don't agree with me, starve. The only difference now is this charity that is in socialism, this charity that's in communism, this charity that they call Marxism, and this utopian society of the great open society of Marxism. You can belong and you can eat as long as you go along with what they have set up as acceptable. Under their party leadership and who they think is deserving. Now we have genocide again. A genocide that we caused, a genocide that we set up, except for 80% of the people who are going to be killed are actually Afghan people that believed in their country that we sold a Ponzi scheme to. 80 to 90% of the people that will rule Afghanistan are not true Afghanistan people. But it's still a kingship under Islamic rule. It's still a society set up by an ultimate ruler, but this time it's going to be Islamic Emirate who will issue fatwas as a court system, because that's what they keep saying. Nobody's going to be discriminated against. Nobody's going to be punished just freely. The Islamic court systems will set it up. With the problem with what's going on and what's going to happen, and what's happening now as I speak, is the fatwas are going to be issued, and murders are going to happen under Islamic court system, under fatwas. How do we justify that? How do we justify us as a people? How do we justify believing in right and wrong? How do we justify doing what we're supposed to do as a people? How do we keep electing people who don't care about watching somebody falling out of an airplane that helped us and believed? How do we justify within ourselves as human beings? I honestly don't know. I have no answers that will justify the abandonment of the true Afghanistan people, the Afghanistan women, children, and babies that are going to be slaughtered and are being slaughtered as I speak. There is no justification. In Korea, 300,000 people were killed. In Vietnam, 150, 200, some say a half a million people were slaughtered. In Afghanistan, the first time, they killed more people than they beat, but the people they beat wasn't just beaten. They took a whip with chains, with flechettes of metal tied into them, with rope and glass, and they whooped them and beat them until they were bloody. And the ones that they didn't, after they got done beating, said that wasn't good enough, they chopped their hands off, they chopped their heads off, they chopped their legs off. They cut women's faces. They literally chopped in faces because they dared to show their face. I would say that's worse than what happened in Vietnam, if you want to look at it that way. That's worse than what happened in Korea. But that's what happened when we left in the 80s and early 90s and left these people the first time because of politics. So I must apologize as a veteran. Not because I am ashamed of what I did, not because I'm ashamed of being American or a patriot. I'm ashamed that we can't find a way to give people hope and not take that hope away. See, the Belt and Road Initiative that was started by China on their 25 to 50-year plan under the Galilean dialect of Marxism is to keep creating more problems that we can handle so that we will quit. That is the whole idea of how communism, socialism, Marxism, the same thing, are all the same thing. That is the whole idea of how to win. Islamic fundamentalism is Marxism and communism under religion. And that's how they beat us. I don't know what to say. This is my live stream. But I will apologize one more time to the Afghanistan people that we sold the American Ponzi scheme to. That we sold and empty, hollow promises to. That's all I got to say.